welcome you to the Reg Scadeller Gymnasium at Cascade High School on Casino Road in South Everett. And we're ready for the 2019 Brugal Fest. And it's the Everett Seagulls taking on the Cascade Bruins. Hello, everybody. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer. Thanks for being with us here on STSPN.com. And Joel Boyer, the first thing I'm going to say is we got ourselves a crowd here tonight.
Oh, this is a fantastic crowd, Tom. It's exciting to see. You got two full student sections all standing on their feet. Tom, they were on their feet in the fourth quarter of the boys JV game, chanting, going at each other in a real positive way. What a great atmosphere. So excited for this Friday night.
And we will give you the starters as we go along here. It's the Cascade Bruins girls and the Everett Seagull girls team. And then we're going to have the boys teams coming up in the second game of our doubleheader here at Cascade High School. So all ready for the Everett Seagulls introduces Emma Larson, a 5'9 sophomore. And then Ella Sylvester comes out. She is a 5'10 guard. For the Cascade Bruins, Shanitha Peak and Taylor Maynard have been introduced, wearing numbers 10 and 11. Shanitha Peach, we talked to her last night on our Prep Sports Weekly show on KRKO Radio. She's 4'10", and she's all of 4'10", but she's a pistol. She's out there, she's working.
You always love those players. You can't, I mean, it's such an adage, but you can't judge them by how they look on necessarily on in the program at 4'10" and whatnot. I've seen some players, they look small, they look undersized, if you will, but boy, you don't want to face them. And I'm excited to watch her go tonight against this talented, young but talented Seagull squad.
So the Cascade Bruins and the Everett Seagulls, as Caitlin Nelson has been introduced, and now Andrea Parrish will be introduced as wearing number 30. And then for the Cascade Bruins, it'll be Peyton Cruz. So Shanitha Peach, Taylor Maynard, Yuritsa Paleo, Caitlin Nelson, and Peyton Cruz for John Barhanovic's Cascade Bruins. For the Everett Seagulls, Emma Larson, Ella Sylvester, Farrah Parrish, Lillian Thompson, and Andrea Parrish are the starters for Jeannie Thompson's Everett Seagulls. And we will take a timeout and come back with tonight's opening tip-off and game action. It's Brugal Fest right here on STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Brugal Fest set to get underway. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer. Buddy Patrick is our statistician. Todd Elvig at the controls on STSPN.com, and we are ready to get underway. John Brown, Doug Jewell, Albert Atragino are the officials, and the ball's in the air, and we are underway. And it will be the Cascade Bruins wearing the white uniforms on their home floor against the Everett Seagulls. Crosstown rivalry, and they've really made this thing into a big, big rivalry with Brugal Fest, which I can think of has gone at least 10 or 15 years. So it's a big deal when these two crosstown rivals get underway with each other in just about any sport, but especially in basketball. Little inside feed they got to Caitlin Nelson. She got bumped, and so it'll be the personal foul here whistled on Emma Larson. That'll be her first personal foul, first team foul. Out of bounds baseline, Cascade, fresh 30 on the shot clock.
And Everett's in a man-to-man here, defense coming out of on the inbounds play. Really aggressive in your face on the half court earlier.
And the steal, and on the other end, the bucket up and good. That is Ella Sylvester, broke free and laid it in, and it's the first 2 points of the ball game for the Everett Seagulls. And now another steal, back up, rattle and go. Farrah Parrish with that bucket right there, and the Seagulls open up a 4-point lead, 4-0 over Cascade.
Jeannie Thompson, the Everett coach, was a longtime coach at Jackson with the Timberwolves there. And so watching this right now in her first year as the varsity coach for the Seagulls, definitely interesting to watch and kind of see some of those tendencies that we've seen in the past, Tom.
Alternating possession on the held ball, and it will go to the Seagulls. In fact, speaking of Jeannie Thompson, we'll be joined by Jeannie Thompson in tonight's second game. her brother, Bobby Thompson, the boys coach, will join us in the first game coming up in the second quarter. So all on the family coaches tree here on the broadcast this evening. Ball's out of bounds. It'll be Everett ball. Now they put a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Oh, it did go up and hit the rim, so it'll be inbounded here. Fadeaway jumper won't go. A miss there by Andrea Parrish. Back up. No good on that one. Another offensive rebound. Back up one more time. That one will go. That's Andrea Parrish. And it's a 6-0 lead for Everett.
Everett in a 2-2-1 full court press right here. They've got a couple steals out of it already, but now it looks like they're dropping. Nope, they're dropping into a man-to-man, Tom, but definitely putting extra pressure on that ball handler. Inside,
they get the pressure, and that's 4 turnovers, 4 trips down the floor, 4 turnovers, stop, pop, bucket, good. That's Ella Sylvester with her second bucket, and it's an 8-0 lead for the Everett Seagulls, up to a big lead over Cascade. They take a timeout. We'll take a break with 6:15 to go in the opening quarter. 8-0. Everett leading Cascade. Back with more after this timeout.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
A shot of the huddle there for the Cascade Bruins. David Barhanovic is the coach tonight. Dad, John, probably watching at home, and I've been there, trying to pass a kidney stone.
John, you're in my thoughts and my prayers at this moment, my friend.
Well, yeah.
With John Barhanovic, one of the great longtime coaches in Wesco, longtime coach here at Cascade with the girls back in the day, then with Archbishop Murphy, then retired and got out of it, basically to watch his daughter play and support her and her career, but then got talked into it, and being the amazing guy he is, said, yeah, I'll come back and coach the Cascade Bruins here. Works in the district, just a great guy. John, we wish you the best.
Yeah, so he is out, so son David is in his stead. We see Emma Larson with the foul, her second team foul. And it'll be out of bounds baseline for Cascade. Down 8-0 to the Everett Seagulls.
Full court man-to-man pressure here. But Parrish, 23, the point guard for the Seagulls, looking to kind of double team if she needs to, if she wants to.
Almost a steal. Ball's knocked away. Ball's on the floor. Tie up here. And it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go the other way. And the Cascade Bruins will have it. A year ago, the Everett Seagulls went 4-9 in league play in the Wesco 3A, 9-11 overall. Cascade, it was a tough year a year ago. 0-13 in league play, 0-19 overall. Little runner won't go. Foul called.
And that's one thing we need to talk about, at least breaking this press. Yeah, Cascade had a rough year last year, but a lot of these players have returned. So all of a sudden you're that second year round of maybe being starters, and it's hard. It's emotionally, mentally taxing on you. But you look at these girls as they're getting pressed right now by the Seagulls at the free throw line right now, but they took 24 seconds to break that press and to get that shot off. But it's a 30-second shot clock. It does not matter how long it's going to take you. It doesn't matter if you need to walk it up the court to get into your set. Just make sure you possess the ball, really work on keeping those turnovers down. They've had a few already. But that bucket going in right there, someone takes the lid off it, and we'll see what they can do.
So Cascade gets their first points of the ball game with Caitlin Nelson at the free throw line. Here's a jumper, pull-up jumper, no good. Missed by Andrea Parrish, and this time up, stolen back by Parrish, back up, off the window. Second time, won't go. Another offensive rebound, feed it underneath. Down to the floor goes Carolyn Jamison. She went down hard to the floor. I'll tell you what, they may not do a lot, but Everett works hard.
They sure do.
Wow.
And you can tell some of this, and Coach Jeannie Thompson was a part of the program last year, was the JV coach last year in the program. So she knows this personnel. She knew the players she had coming in this year. Definitely, it works well for the culture, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
But you can tell there's some kind of early shots going up in the shot clock that I wouldn't doubt coaching staff saying, wait, let's work it around. Let's get a great shot, not just a decent shot. But they're up 8-1 right now at the free throw line. See if they can tack on one more.
The foul was on Peyton Cruz, the 5'5 guard. She's a junior, picks up her first personal foul. First team foul. Free throw by Carolyn Jamison. First one missed. Second one, I think they called a lane violation.
And they actually did. Parrish, point guard for the Gulls, was trying to come in from behind the three-point line and came in too early. That's a weird one. Don't often see that one called.
So we're going to have a travel called here. That's just tough defense. That's 6 turnovers here in the quarter on the Cascade Bruins.
Well, and that's one of those things when you don't have that height, sometimes it's hard to see when you're getting triple teamed to be able to find that passing lane.
Down low, up again, up and in, and Andrea Parrish will put it in. And Parrish puts it in, and she already in the evening has 4 points in the ball game. And we're at 5:10 to go here in the opening quarter. We'll step aside, come back. It's a 9-point lead for Everett right here on STSPN.com.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Welcome back here. A year ago, the Everett Seagulls got the Cascade Bruins and Brugal Fest 50-13. Here's a 2-shot on the way. Won't go for the Bruins. Shanitha Peak would not go. Then cleared out again by Everett. Boy, they moved the ball around very well. Andrea Parrish has 6 points in the ball game with that lay-in.
Really impressed by Ella Sylvester. Took off as soon as Farrah Parrish grabbed that rebound. That was a great lead pass to her to be able to find Andrea Parrish underneath for an easy 2.
That 3 ball in the corner won't go for Paleo, but they'll reload. They'll get the offensive rebound this time. Here's a 2 that won't go. Too hard, too high by Peak. Back up one more time. No, that won't go either. And this time Everett will get it. So 3 opportunities there, and the Bruins come away dry, and it'll be Everett's basketball. Everett in the navy blue uniforms with gold numbers and trim, moving to our left. Shot on the way that won't go. Missed by Jamison. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Everett. It'll be Cascade Bruin basketball.
And that was good aggressiveness at that last offensive possession by the Bruins. Let's see if they can't capitalize that. 3 shots, 2 offensive rebounds within that. What a great job just being aggressive to those boards, which is what you got to do to be able to get yourself back in this game down 11.
The officials, again, John Brown, Doug Jewell, Albert Atraginio. We're at the Reg Cadeller Gymnasium at Cascade High School. Everett with the lead. We're coming up on the halfway mark of this first quarter. Underneath, ball goes off of the fingertips and out of bounds. That's 7 turnovers. Off of Miriam Silla. And here come the Seagulls. Inside 4 minutes of play in the first quarter.
2-3 zone by the Bruins.
Little pass underneath. The ball's going to be good defensive hustle there by Claire Mitchell, but it will be still Everett's basketball in the alternating possession. And baseline here for the Seagulls. 3:48 to go, first quarter. Underneath, who's got the ball? They're going to scramble for it.
I think I know who win that jump ball.
That jump ball's going the other way, and it will now be the Cascade Bruins who will have a possession.
Our statistician, Buddy Patrick, hasn't missed a jump ball yet tonight.
Not yet. We've had a bunch of them here this first quarter. Still to come tonight in the doubleheader, the boys between the Cascade Bruins and the Everett Seagulls here at Cascade High School in South Everett. Here's a steal. Ball knocked away, and then the foul's going to be called here on Taylor Maynard. Maynard pushed her to the floor.
And that was a little bit of an aggression, frustration foul right there. They're working on breaking that press. They're trying to pass backwards and then attack from the opposite angle. Just not much room to do so there. David Barhanovich, coach, fill-in coach, assistant coach, we should say, but acting head coach tonight on behalf of his father for Cascade, calls his 3rd time out of the quarter. Anything to try to stop that bleeding.
And we'll keep it right here. We'll tell you that for the Everett Seagulls they have already played a game. They lost to Newport by 10 the other night, 39-29 when they open their season on Wednesday. They play again tomorrow at home over at the Norm Lowry Gym, a 5 o'clock game against the Blaine Borderites. And then Tuesday at home against Mariner as well. And then they open up league play 1 week from tonight, Friday the 13th, Meadowdale at Meadowdale. In fact, they open with 3 road Wesco 3A games at Meadowdale, at Shorewood, at Linwood.
Oh, boy. Jumping into a tough league start right there.
Cascade, on the other hand, they lost last night, or Wednesday night as well, 54-29 to Seaholm. And then after tonight's game, they'll play Montlake Terrace on Tuesday. Next Thursday, they'll play at home against Lakewood here at the Reg Scadeller Gymnasium. And then against Marysville Pilchuck a week from tonight. Then they have 2 league games prior to the Christmas break. Tuesday the 17th against Glacier Peak, and Friday the 20th against Mariner. So that's the way the 2 teams will stack up here pretty much the rest of the month of December. Everett basketball leading by 11 points, our biggest lead of the ball game, and a bad pass. The official didn't want to field the ball, so he just let it ball go out of bounds. So 4 turnovers on the Everett Seagulls.
A little more energy right there in the defense by the Bruins, really trying to attack the ball handler from that zone. Still a 2-3 zone, but really trying to be a little bit more aggressive in those passing lanes with that.
Silla has the ball stripped away. The ball is going to go down for a fairly easy lay-in and 1 coming up here. Ella Sylvester with the bucket. She's got 6 points in the ball game. And she'll try for her 7th point as she goes to the free throw line. And the foul will be called on Peyton Cruz. And for Cruz, her 2nd personal foul, 3rd team foul. And the lead is now 13 points for the Seagulls. They've led the entire way here. Free throw won't go. Rebound. Grabbed down by Takia Jones.
Everett dropping back into a half-court 2-3 zone, looks like.
So Cascade in the home white uniforms moving to our right. That's Taylor Maynard on the dribble. Splits the defense and then loses the handle on the ball. And the ball is going to be taken by Farrah Parrish. And she goes in, coast to coast, the steal, the lay-in, and down to the floor. 2 bodies on the floor, and the officials say, play on. Let's go. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. The lead is 15 points for the Seagulls.
And that's one of those plays a little bit, usually referees want to call that because it was almost a little bit of a safety issue right there. But she kind of got undercut. The good thing both players got up unharmed.
The bank is open. Miriam Silla with the banker. There's another shot up, no good. Missed by Parrish. Ball goes out of bounds. A little self-officiating there. Carolyn Jameson trying to point like that's our ball, and the official had none of it. Said, nah, I don't think so.
Well, right, that one, Miriam Silla got a forearm shiver that sent her to the floor. But referee, I don't think quite saw that one happening.
And now the Everett Seagulls will call a timeout. We'll step aside with 2:09 to go in the opening quarter. 16-3 the score. Everett with the lead over Cascade. Back with more after this. And we're getting set for play to resume here. 16-3 the score. 2:09 to play in the first quarter. Everett with the lead and the basketball. Savannah Frank Tolentino out at the left wing. She gets it back.
That 2-3 zone still by the Bruins, really trying to shut down the inner passing lanes.
Inside they go. Shot up, no good by Jameson. Back up, no. And the ball goes out of bounds. So Jeannie Thompson shuttling some guards in and out. So kind of a whole fresh set of 3 guards out there. It'll be inbounded here by Weir. Ball knocked out of bounds. Oh, they say going to be off of Ella Sylvester and out of bounds. So change up the guards, but keep Jamison out there and Sylvester out there.
And she brought Farrah Parrish back in as well, who'd just been on the bench. Got a little rest before coming back in. And Everett is actually in a pretty aggressive man-to-man. I was wrong on that a couple possessions ago. Playing a lot of help side defense.
Yeah, it kind of changes in its look as they come down. She's standing out of bounds.
It's not really want to be when you're fielding that ball right there.
Abigail Surowiec with the turnover, standing out of bounds. So it'll be back over to Everett with the big lead by 13 points. Boy, nobody there defensively, and Carolyn Jamison says, hi. Just throw it to me and we'll get an easy one.
And a great job by Jamison right there. Got below that bottom line of the 2-3 zone. Anytime you can get to that short corner area and that Bruin 2-3 zone, that back line was playing a little high, Tom. There's kind of some space in the back right there. Great pass by Parrish right down to Jamison. Easy two.
A couple of subs will come in here with 1:10 to go in the third. One for Everett, one for Cascade. And here we go. Cascade ball at the baseline. Inbound. Right corner. That's Surowiec. Shot will be an air ball. Save. No, not quite safe from going out of bounds, but it'll say last touch by Cascade. It'll be Everett Seagull basketball. 12 turnovers in this first quarter for the Cascade Bruins. Ouch. To the baseline. Here's a good
nice
defensive
hustle.
play there.
Nice hustle right there, getting to the floor.
Claire Mitchell. Step through. I thought maybe she was going to get away with it.
I thought she might have right there. Good officiating.
Yep.
A little bit of a shuffle step right there. She caught that ball. She ripped through to go one step, hesitate and go. Just couldn't get that back pivot foot down in time.
Underneath they go. And now Cascade will take it. They'll bring it out of backcourt. Up the floor. Surowiec has the ball knocked away. But Cascade will reload here with 27 seconds to go. Here's a shot on the way. Won't be and one. It'll be two shots coming up here, as it was Darche Grace, the 5'3" sophomore, who will be at the free throw line now. You see the athletic director for the Cascade Bruins, Mike Washington, watching his side. Doug Plucker, the athletic director at Everett, watching his side. We want to keep the peace right up the middle of the student section on that far side.
Let's keep that aisleway nice and clear, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice piece of coaching right there by Jeannie Thompson, head coach for Everett. She called Jamison over to her and said, hey, you got that foul partly because you started leaking out early thinking we had that ball, and that's why you got behind the ball handler instead of in front of her.
Three that won't go. A miss there by Frank Tolentino, but a putback up, and it is good by Farrah Parrish, who put that in. It's 20-5 the score. Cascade, they're going to run out of time here as we come to the end of the first quarter in our score. It's the Cascade Bruins 20, the Everett Seagulls 5. Head boys coach Bobby Thompson joins us here this next quarter as we continue live from Red Scadeller Gymnasium in South Everett, right here on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And we welcome you back to Red Scadeller Gymnasium in South Everett. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer, and we are joined by Bobby Thompson. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. The brand new head boys basketball coach at Everett High School. and watching his sister's team, the brand new girls basketball coach. And we've kind of talked by email the last couple of weeks. Have you looked up? Is there anybody anywhere that's had siblings coaching?
Not that I'm aware of. So it's been a unique deal. I know my mom's here tonight. She's pretty excited, and the extended family. So it's a good thing for the family. We're excited.
Well, I'm guessing mom's pretty excited.
She's a little proud. So that's good.
So let's talk about, as the game goes on, people can see it on the television. So let's talk about your path to get to be the head basketball coach at Everett High School. Okay, you walk across the stage and get your diploma at Everett High. What'd you do then?
Yeah, I went on and I played college ball and went to college. Ended up at the University of Maine in Fort Kent, an AIA school, about as far away from here as possible.
That's about as far away.
It was. And so had a wonderful experience there. We got married, moved back home, and started coaching youth basketball as my daughter got older, and was leading the Everett AAU program for the last 6 years. And so had a lot of experience coaching a lot of the girls we're watching here tonight, as well as the guys on the boys' side, and had a real close relationship with the high school. And when Bryce, resigned last spring, pursued it, and everything worked out.
Very cool. And what do you do what's your real job?
My real job, yes, my real job. I am the director of housing for Housing Hope, a nonprofit here in Everett. And so do a lot of work trying to create affordable housing for homeless and low-income families. And so
you got a big project down on Broadway, right?
We do. It just opened last month. And so it's 65 units of housing supporting 57 homeless households, which is really, really neat. It's a first net zero project in Snohomish County for affordable housing.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Well, talk about your Everett Seagull boys team, who we're going to see coming up here in a little bit. Well, who are some of the names we're going to be watching when Joel and I are calling your game?
Yeah, I think you're gonna get a kick out of watching Taras Fasienko play. 6-foot point guard, playmaker. Makes shots from all over the court. But, the skill that he's really developing that I'm proud of is that he's becoming an excellent leader for our guys and making everybody else better. So he's kind of our playmaker, kind of makes us go. The other returners, we have Jeremy, who is a junior, Jeremy Reed, 5'10", just tenacious on-the-ball defender. Brings that football energy to our guys. When he got done with football and came back to us, the energy of our practices changed significantly. So
That's
he's
a good thing.
Yeah, and then then one of the other guys that I really love is Ronnie Kildall, 6-foot junior, scratch golfer. Just has a high motor. I might go putt-putt golfing with him, but I'm not stepping on the golf course with him. But just a tremendous team guy, and it's one of those guys that's out there working hard, and all of a sudden you look on the stat sheet, he's got 10 points from just scrapping. And the last guy I'd just like to reference is a returner is sophomore Peter Wilson. Pete Rock, as we call him, is 6 foot and just gets after it. Just a real all-around guy for our squad, a good leader, and just does a lot of dirty work for us, and is really growing as a player. So, yeah, just surrounding those guys.
So, one of the things Tom just said there, the brand new head coach. Well, having coached before, it's not brand new because you had a whole summer with these guys. Talk a little bit about the things that you guys did this summer, camps you went to, and just kind of the culture that you've brought. I mean, I follow you on Instagram, and I can't go a single about hour without seeing some feed from Build the Nest, and just really impressed by that. But just talk about this summer, what you guys did, and just the culture you guys were creating as a coaching staff and players together.
Yeah, sorry, I was just watching my daughter get thrown to the ground. She needs to learn how to fall.
Are you watching this as a brother, as another opposing, or a coach, or as a dad?
It's a weird dynamic, man. I haven't really figured it out. But no, we came in with the mantra for our guys in our program, and the whole motto was make them believe, and it was make our guys believe, make this community believe in what this program's about. We've seen what this thing is when it's rocking, and I was a part of it long time ago.
Wait, be quiet.
Oh, sorry, we gotta let Lily shoot. Yes,
it's Lillian Thompson down at the line.
I'm pretty sure she's used to hearing Dad talk while she's shooting, though.
Just like Dad, right?
That is just like Dad. That is just like Dad. We'll be quiet and let her shoot one more.
Okay, all right.
See, and what's funny about that is that my dad down there, Michael Preston, he was he was already telling me tonight how we need to deconstruct her shot and rebuild it. So it's pretty funny. So her shot's fine. Her shot's fine. So no, we just got in the gym with our guys, and and more so just invested in them relationally. And it's funny how when you kind of do that and you earn the right to be heard with guys, they'll run through a wall for you. And so we've been in the weight room hard since April. I mean, 3-4 times a week. We've been on the court. These guys have been leading their own open gyms. Went to Central, went 6-1 over there. Had an amazing experience. And we played with an energy that these guys they hadn't really felt before. And so just trying to channel that. And so it's been a real fun ride. And tonight's going to be interesting because it's coming on the heels of just what was for Tuesday night for us. We kind of got punched in the face a little bit by Squalicum. So see how we come back tonight and respond to that.
You mentioned one of your guys coming out of football and coming in, and we've done shows on our Prep Sports Show on the radio station talking about multi-sport athletes. Talk about multi-sport athletes, and you said he came in and brought a new energy to your practice.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where you're riding a fine line for about a week of just letting it go, and the action's getting it's getting heated, and guys are getting edgy. But I'm just trying to turn these guys into, just had to have a competitive spirit at all times in everything we do. And so those guys came in and definitely brought that. And the energy of what we have in practices right now is just high octane. We compete in everything. And so it's just trying to establish that mindset and culture in our guys.
Talk about your assistants.
Yeah,
assistant coaches.
Yeah, so I've got.
You're not doing this all by yourself, right?
No, I'm not at all. We've got a wonderful, wonderful team. Brian Doty is a guy I've coached with for a long time. He's a former Emmons Woodway player. Played at Puget Sound Christian College. Just a guy I trust tremendously. Got his first high school coaching win tonight with the JV guys, which was tremendous. And then our C-team coach is Mike Jones. Mike actually he went to Cascade.
Oh, yeah.
He was 1996 Herald Player of the Year. Played at Alaska Fairbanks. So he got his first win tonight in the C-team game. So hopefully the head coach can follow suit with those two. And then helping us out, David Popich, a 2014 grad of Everett High, played in the program. Tim Harrington, a volunteer assistant who does a lot of scouting and other stuff. And then Seth Dawson, who's big in the community.
He's got a building named after him.
He does have a building named after him, and but he does all of our academic work with our guys. And so I think the thing I'm honestly most proud of right now is our program GPA is 3.316, and I'm just
that's impressive.
And it's just and right now we had our first grade checks come out today, and everyone's doing great and everyone's eligible, and it's just it's a step in the right direction.
And I think that's something that honestly goes overlooked a lot of times. Kind of in society today, a lot with AAU and this and that you don't have to have there's no eligibility with school that comes with those. That it's kind of that extra that layer that gets put onto high school coaching, and that's a really impressive GPA. Having been around high school basketball for a number of years now, that's awesome. That is something absolutely to be proud of. Coach.
Yeah. Our study halls have been really vibrant, and they've been well attended. Well, they're mandatory, so they better be well attended. And so there's that whole thing, but. Guys have really people that really struggled in the classroom before are really excelling this year, and it's neat to see their confidence go up in other areas as a result of that. And that's the whole point of why we're doing this in the first place. So it's good.
Talk a little bit about your mentors as a coach. I remember calling your games back in the olden days. Who were your high school coaches, and who really helped you along?
Yeah, I played under Roger Haug and Darrell Olson at Everett High. Two guys that made a tremendous impact on me. I make the joke often when I talk to groups about what we're doing is I was probably not the easiest player to coach. I think I'm very empathetic to a lot of my players because I was probably in a lot of ways very selfish as a player. And so it's very funny for me to, I now implement a lot of things those two guys taught me. And then, I would also say the person that's coaching down here on the sidelines right now, my sis, I'm 2 years older than her, but I'm often, I'm Jeannie's big brother, and so it's, she has kind of modeled the way for me and how you build relationships with kids, and and just do this with integrity. And so, Joel's known me a long time. Joel can attest. Our personalities are a little different. I'm a little fierier than she is. But I've watched her, and I try to really emulate what she does in all aspects of it. Great look.
Great look and a bucket there by Ella Sylvester. It's 28-10 coming up on 3 minutes to play in the half. And I'm guessing you've heard from some of your teammates from back in the day.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I've had a number of our alums come out and talk to our guys. And
well, who did you play with?
So I played with Jessen Shalati, Tom Niva, Kurt Koshelnik, Byron Llewellyn. Just a bunch of guys that
those are Everett names, by the way.
They are Everett names.
And there's a few of them that are in this gym right now watching this night.
Yeah, so it's been really cool to walk around tonight and just kind of see faces that are very familiar and are passionate about Everett basketball, and it's wonderful to feel that support.
Well, and speaking of support, what a crowd tonight for you guys. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of nights of like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count everybody's out tonight.
This is special. No, this is it's a special opportunity for our guys and for these girls to play in front of a great crowd. And what I try to tell my guys is that if we can continue to do what we're doing and play the spirit of basketball that embodies this community, things like this become a regular occurrence. And so it's but you have to live it on a day-to-day basis with the way you compete. And I'm hoping we can start with that tonight.
Well, you have to earn it.
That's absolutely right.
So here's another steal and going in. Oh, it's not your daughter, so that's okay.
No, but I coached Ella for like 5 years, so it still made it. I'm having to watch myself with a microphone on my face. So yes.
I was going to say, haven't known you a long time. This is a little more reserved for the Bobby Thompson.
Yeah.
But as always, I've been excited to watch what you guys have been doing, and just really impressed. And can't wait to watch you coach tonight and watch your boys play tonight. Excited for it.
Well, I'm cool. I mean, I appreciate that, Joel. It's just neat to see all my guys over there in the front row supporting. Before this, the JV boys getting just passionate into the game and really being the same way of spirit for these girls. Good hit.
There's a 3-ball outside by Farrah Parrish, and it's 35-10, a 25-point lead. Biggest lead of the game for the Everett Seagulls here. Brugel Fest 2019. Bobby Thompson, the head boys coach. He'll be getting busy here in just a little while for the second game of the doubleheader. So if someone said, well, what kind of style of basketball are you guys going to play? What style are we going to look at tonight when the Seagulls play?
Well, what I'm hoping we can do is we can be high octane. We pressure the basketball from end to end, really trying to create havoc and wear teams down. I make the joke to a lot of people right now. If Wesco was a 6 foot and under league, I'd love our chances. We don't have.
How about an over 40 league too?
Hey, sure. So what we have to do is really wear teams down with our pressure, be relentless. Our rotations defensively have to be special. They have to be good, and we've exhibited that at times. And so if we can find consistency in that, it really leads to a transition game where we start feeding off each other's energy and play a special brand of ball. And so when we've unlocked it several times, and I'm hoping tonight can be one of those nights where we can do that a little bit.
Talk a little bit about the Wesco 3A. We always feel it's kind of weird that when Joel and I have been doing games, because it's one time through the league. You don't get that home and home later on in the season. One time straight through. Who are the teams to watch beside the Everett Seagulls?
Well, what's funny is that I've been following this from afar, and so now this is my first run through. I know that just from our summer experiences and just watching last year, your mainstays, Arlington's going to be tough. They've got a really good big kid who's really dominant. You're always MP brings back everyone except Raekwon, and so they look really good in the summer and in the fall. Getchell's going to be great. They've got, they're talented as all get up. And then, you head down south and it's just interesting. You only play everybody once. So it's,
right.
So Woodway's, I think Woodway's going to be good. They're high octane. Shorecrest is solid. Go up north to Stanwood. They always bring a quality product to the floor. And I mean, you notice I'm naming like the entire league. So it's like, we're going to have our work cut out for us every night with what we have to do. Every team's got something they bring to the table.
So I know you probably have your schedule memorized. Do you play Stanwood on a Friday night up there, or do you play them at home?
Oh, gosh. I think we're up there. I believe we're up there.
Because that's a great place to play basketball too.
No, it's a great gym. I haven't won up there a lot, so I really enjoy the ambiance. I wish I was up there as a third party sometimes, but it's a great place to compete. They have a wonderful fan base up there.
Well, and like you said, Stanwood's been pretty tough for a number of years and well coached, and like you said, not many people go up there and win. So.
No, Zach's done a great job up there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing, that you joined a pretty good fraternity of. You got the Zach Wards and the Barry Goulds and all these coaches. Brown up at Arlington and stuff. A bunch of good guys.
No, they're a bunch of great guys. And even, it was funny is playing Squalicum on Tuesday night with Dave Dixon, who's a Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely.
And I know his brother pretty well. And so we had some wonderful discussions about the game and just how welcoming all these guys are and just into that whole fraternity and just willing to give advice.
So we're coming to the end of the first half of action. It's been all Everett tonight in this first game of the doubleheader. 38-10 is the score. It's a turnover. Let's see if Cascade can put one on the board before the half, and they will not. With just 1.3 to go, and it'll be Everett basketball. And we will draw this first half to a close. Well, see, they may try to get a shot off. Gun it. Well, hit the backboard. Well, Coach Bobby Thompson, good luck tonight. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it,
man.
There you go. We are at halftime here. 38-10 the score, with the Everett Seagulls leading the Cascade Bruins. We'll come back with our halftime numbers in the second half right after this timeout.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And we're at Brugal Fest for 2019 here at the Reg Scadeller Gymnasium in South Everett at Cascade High School. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer, and Buddy Patrick has a look at the numbers as we have a 38-10 lead for Everett over Cascade. Buddy?
And we will start with the Cascade Bruins. 3 for 20 from the field, 15%, 1 for 8 from three-point range, 3 for 7 from the line for 43%, 5 points for pitch, the number 10 for Cascade, and all those 5 points coming in the second quarter. 17 turnovers for the Everett Seagulls. For Everett in the half, shot 17 for 32 for 53%, 2 for 6 from three-point range, 2 for 7 from the line. Leading scorer in this ball game at the half, Ella Sylvester with 15 points, 11 points for Farrah Parrish, 15 turnovers for the Seagulls.
38-10 the score. We're getting set for the second half to get underway. Thanks again to Bobby Thompson. I didn't even ask him if he knows who Ralph Branca is. Do you know who Ralph Branca is?
Baseball?
Yeah.
Not more. I'm not going to get you more than that.
He's the guy that threw the pitch that Bobby Thompson hit. The shot heard around the world. The Giants win the pennant. The
Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant.
Yep. Hey ho. Yes. Ralph Branca threw the pitch.
He might know that only because it's probably not the first time he's heard that one.
I'm guessing that. And his sister, Jeannie Thompson, she's a little busy now. She's down there on the Everett bench, and she will join us and talk in the second quarter of our second game. Probably somebody should remind her of that. I haven't had a chance to tell her, but we'll get her up here, and we'll be talking basketball in the second game. The ball is going to be held, and it's going to be Cascade Bruin basketball. I'm not sure why we're having some clock issues here. As they can't.
I'm not sure the reffing crew took a. I think they were ready and the teams are ready. I'm not sure the scoreboard was ready yet. Oh, I think they just had a timeout. They accidentally pushed right there. They'll get it sorted out.
It's time for Tom to get on the soapbox. I don't like it when they use the score clock as the timeout timer, by the way.
Can I say what I really think?
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I absolutely cannot stand when you look up as a coach, as an assistant coach.
How much time's left?
Oftentimes you're looking at that and you call that timeout and you want to be able to reference the time more than the score even, but the time and score to be able to say,
yep,
hey, with this much time left, the shot clock at this, and you look up and it's counting down your timeout. That doesn't help it. The ref's going to tell me when the time's up. He's going to tell me when to come out of the huddle. I don't need to know it on the clock. But that's not a score.
You know what?
It's not a scorer's issue. That's a scoreboard.
Right.
Daktronics. We got to maybe try to talk to those guys and see if they can't do a better job for us.
Yeah, but by the way, nobody asked us.
You know what, Tom? We got a lot of opinions and ideas up here.
We got ideas galore.
I feel we could solve a lot of problems, and we might make more than we solve, but we could solve a few. But just no one's asked us recently.
The Cascade Bruins will have the ball. The foul was called on Andrea Parrish, her first personal foul, first team foul of the second half. Another foul is going to be called here, and that's going to send Yuritsa Paleo to the free throw line for the Bruins. David Barhanovic is in for his dad coaching tonight. Dad working on a kidney stone, and so David will take his place. I hope there's not HIPAA issues that we're breaking here, but
you can get a hold of Tom at Tall Tom Lafferty at careco.com.
So a timeout called on the floor. The second game of the doubleheader will be the Everett Seagulls and the Cascade Bruins on the boys' side of things. Brugal Fest and a great crowd on hand here at Cascade High School in South Everett. This is what high school basketball is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Both students sections standing up and yelling, and somebody over there wants to put Kayla in.
And you know, one of the things I'm really enjoying about this is oftentimes referees are asking student sections to be seated, not extended standing during playoffs such as that. This is what it's supposed to be. The energy I haven't seen a single student be out of control. You got both athletic directors down there making sure things are kept there at the I don't know, the demarcation line, if you will.
Yep.
But you just see a lot of enthusiastic students getting behind both their squads, and that's what it should be in high school sports.
Cascade with a couple of free throws, and then answering with a 3 on the other end is Farrah Parrish for a 3-ball, and the lead is 41-12. So a 29-point lead for the Everett Seagulls over their crosstown rivals from Cascade, and a near steal here, but they're going to call a foul. The officials, John Brown, Doug Jewell, and Albert Adrachinio.
And it looked like Parrish right there got that steal, and she's trying to break away and got herself held back right there. We'll give her the steal as they start that offense, the 2-3 zone. The Cascade Bruins are sticking in it. And, honestly, you look at that score, and there's some, it's definitely, it's gotten away. It's, a little out of hand. And but to the Bruins' credit, and both Coach Barhanovich is, I agree. I think it's probably the right defense to be in to try to limit as much as you can. But right now we're just looking at the Everett team that is just further along than the Bruins are in their program.
Miss in the corner by Parrish, and then the follow-up try for the rebound will send a player hard to the floor. She really hit hard. I heard that from up here. The training staff, actually Coach Barhanovich will go out. She's up and seated now. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever played, this court is tough. This is a hard floor.
and you know what, Tom? Some people are listening are probably thinking like, well, aren't all hardwood courts? No, they are not.
No, they are not.
Absolutely not. I absolutely agree with you. Having played on this court, having been knocked to the floor on this court, yeah, you feel it the next day more than you think you should.
Yeah. This is a 1950s, late 50s, early 60s era gym, and it was built to stand. I've seen many a great game in here because with the double-decker stands on this side, you can put about $3,000 in here.
Sure. I mean, you were telling us before the broadcast that was it the best West
district
Conference game you've seen here?
The best district game I've ever seen, 1977, the Snohomish Panthers with Kurt Marsh, former Los Angeles Raider Kurt Marsh, Jerry McLean, Chris Utt, coached by Jack DeCubber.
Yep.
Taking on the eventual state champion Mount Lake Terrace Hawks with the late Scott Copen playing. Merle Blevins was the head coach. I'll tell you what, it was a war in here, and people screaming at the officials, and it was just an absolute ball. It was great.
And who won it?
Mount Lake Terrace won it.
Oh.
They went on then to play for the state championship down at Heck Ed.
Sure.
A couple of weeks later, they had to go through the regionals before the days of going back to the 16-team tournament.
Sure.
So you ended with a Final Four at the UW.
Okay. Man, and the best part about Tom, and you and I have had so many talks, had so many different moments hanging out at state, whatnot. I love hearing it because when you describe it, it happened yesterday. And that's what I love to hear. It wasn't 1977. That was yesterday.
Free throw here is good. First one up. That is Farrah Parrish at the free throw line. No. Parrish with 15 points. Missed that free throw. Boy, they play tough D. Everett does.
They sure do. And they're definitely pressuring out high. They're just in a tough man-to-man, kind of overplaying, giving help side. One thing that they're getting a little, and this sometimes a little bit is well, it's just the truth of it. Sometimes it's a scoreboard type thing. Officials trying to keep things a little closer as they can. But when you do see that contact, you're more likely to kind of maybe call that, especially trying to have a fairness, if you will. But Everett's an aggressive team, and you can tell, coached by Jeannie Thompson, they want to push the envelope. They want to kind of find where that line is that a foul is going to be called and play right behind that line. To give extra pressure and aggressiveness and really be committed to what they're doing on defense.
Here's Cascade, outside 3 ball. That will not go. A miss there by Takia Jones, and it'll be controlled by Everett.
Ella Sylvester, I think she thought she might have dribbled. She put that extra hand out there and had that look of a little bit of guilty, but no referee caught that, so she decided to keep playing. Regardless if you did or not, keep playing.
Snap the whistle. That's what they say. So the foul here on Carolyn Jamison, the 6-foot sophomore, her 3rd personal foul. And it'll be Cascade Bruin basketball. We're here at STSPN.com. Brew Golf Fest on this 6th day of December 2019. On top of the key, Cascade, 3-ball, won't go. They're just not falling for the Bruins tonight. Shanitha Peak with the shot that won't go. Now Everett will try their hand at it underneath, getting the ball back after being slapped at, and then be a couple of free throws coming up here for Lillian Thompson. We were talking with her dad just a little bit ago. We'll talk with her aunt coming up here in the second game. It's hard to think that people that I called their games when they were in high school now have kids that are old enough to be playing high school basketball.
You know, Tom, the worst part about that statement is you were just talking about Kurt Marsh and
Yep.
Chris Utt. Chris Utt being one of my former 10th grade health teacher, if you will. But those guys were playing back in the 70s. And, Tom, you're referencing Jeannie and Bobby Thompson, who played in the mid-90s for Everett. So we might be able to go back even further, you know. But I think there's a lot of people playing in high school basketball in the last 10 and 15 years that you might have called their parents' games as well.
Well, I didn't call the game, but I did see Ben Krause steal the ball and win the state championship for the Panthers in 1970 at Heck Ed against Pasco.
And you know who else was there at that game?
Michael Jackson.
My dad.
Your dad was there?
He sure was. In the band.
Okay, there you go. Couple of shots coming up here. The foul call. We're at 5:13 to go in the third quarter. The lead is 31 points for Everett on a take-no-prisoners night. Miriam Silla will be at the free throw line for the Bruins. Gives them their 13th point of the night. Cascade, we mentioned, will play at Mount Lake Terrace on Tuesday. It's an air ball on that one. Then home next Thursday, the 12th, against Lakewood. The Cougars will be here. And then Friday the 13th at Marysville Pilchuck. It's the upcoming games for the Cascade Bruins. Underneath. No, ball checked away, but back over right there to grab it. So a couple of opportunities there for the Everett Seagulls that come away with nothing. Little early offense there that won't go for Jones.
It's a great lead pass by Pick right there. At 4'10" point guard we talked about, it kind of makes things go for the Bruins. Good outlet, good lead pass. Just didn't get that three to drop down, but definitely things that you can build on in spite of the score. There's things to take and practice and build on. And it's hard. It's hard as players emotionally sometimes and just kind of mentally be like, man, that was a tough final score possibly for us. However, you can still grow. You can still get better with that. You just got to have that mindset mentality. And that's a really tough thing to coach and that culture to have, but it's absolutely possible.
And in the, of course, Cascade playing in the Wesco 4A, so a smaller league. So they'll be opening up a league play here in a couple of weeks. And for the Western Conference, a year ago, as we mentioned, Cascade didn't get a win, 0-19 on the year, but you never know. And, you know, this game counts in the hearts of Everett people. It doesn't count towards the playoffs if you can, you know, put a little run together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, when we're talking about that Wesco 4A league, that's a tough league.
Oh, yeah.
When you're and we talked about with Bobby Thompson, the boys coach at Everett, that in the 3As you only play everybody one time. Just one time through. You don't get that home and home like you referenced. Well, in the 4As you do, which in the case of the Cascade Bruins women's program here, that's not always a good thing when you're facing Glacier Peak twice,
right.
Lake Stevens twice, Jackson twice. I mean, even your Mount Vernons, your Kamiaks. I mean, teams that did well last year but have been doing well for a long time and have some culture and program built for them, not just at the varsity, with the JV, at the C team. That's just a really healthy program. And you're playing those people twice just in league play. That's tough. That's a really tough schedule that you have to handle when maybe you're still building your culture.
Well, as we mentioned, that we've had 12 fouls called here in about the last 4 minutes or so, because we're at 8 team fouls now for Everett and 4 for Cascade. We're at 3:54 to play in the third quarter.
It's felt a little start and stop here. A lot of free throws.
That'll be a free throw miss there, and then a follow-up, and the bucket is up and good. Silla with the bucket there. And it is 45-15. Miss on the other end. And here comes Cascade. Top of the key jumper. It's up and it is good. Miriam Silla with a couple of buckets here. 45-17, 3:22 to go third.
String a little run together. You had a score on a offensive rebound, put back off that free throw. They got a stop down here, a score at the other end. It's those little three possession runs if you can put them together. Now, I'm not going to start talking about Cascade making a full comeback. What I'm talking about is those small runs, building back your mental game, building back that process of knowing, hey, maybe we don't win this game, but we started to string things together. As a coaching staff, you can talk about, hey, in that third quarter, we had a little run there. We had a little run here, and just take those glimpses and see if you can't lengthen them, make them better, and just let it be a growth game. And it's not going to be easy, but you can do it.
Little hook pass there. Ball goes out of bounds. Turnover by Cascade. It'll be Everett Seagull basketball. Cascade with their 20th turnover in the ball game. And I don't know if you do as a coach, if you coach to the scoreboard. Hey guys, let's get double figures. Hey, come on, let's at least score 35 tonight. Hey, they scored 5 points in the first quarter, 5 points in the second quarter. Let's get double figures. Will you coach that way? I mean, it baby steps.
I don't know if I'd reference the score. I'm not saying it's a negative thing if you did. I don't know if I'd reference it, but you're kind of coaching that way to be able to say, hey, maybe at the end or in post game or someone's like, hey, we started out with this much in the first quarter, then we grew to this. You look at our third quarter, we really were able to make some strides, and we put up 8-10 points maybe. Absolutely, you take those mini wins, those small kind of incremental wins as you go, because like we talked about a second ago, it really builds that mental confidence back in you in spite of the loss.
So a foul on Jones. Will turn it back over to Everett. Her first, 2:22 to go here in the third quarter. Everett moving it around. Down to the baseline they go, and an air ball up and no good. A miss there by Yvonne Ramirez, and it'll be Cascade ball. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by a Seagull, so Cascade retains possession with 2:09 to play in quarter three here in South Everett on a Friday night. Runner that won't go. Who's got it? Scrap for it on the floor. Bodies down. Nobody wants the basketball. Finally coming away with it is Savannah Frank Tolentino. She'll stop. She'll pop. And she will bury it for a three ball top of the key. Come away with the basketball, dribble up to the top of the key, and then bury a three ball, and it's 48-17. Back to a 31-point lead for the Seagulls.
And, Tom, I'm not sure if we're going to see any of those stars for Everett coming back. We might see them for a minute or two to start the fourth, but you really like enjoying seeing that younger group, those swing players, be able to get some varsity minutes. And it doesn't. When they sub in, they don't know what the score is. They don't care what the score is. They just love being able to compete and to bring some energy and to be able to get that opportunity to get some time on a varsity court in a varsity game on a Friday night with a big crowd like this. It's pretty special and pretty exciting.
Silla on top. Coming up on a minute to play. Here's a three on the way. It's going to be an air ball, a miss there by Abigail Surowiec. And out of bounds, it'll be Everett basketball with 56 to play in the third. Still to come in Brew Gold Fest, the boys game here on STSPN.com. We'll have one more quarter of girls basketball action coming up. Pence will shoot, miss. Rebound grabbed by Cascade. Here come the Bruins. Out of back court, losing a handle of Darche Grace. Taken away from her, going in, foul call.
These are those moments.
Yeah.
You really want to be able to put that free throw down, get your name in the paper for it. It's pretty fun, exciting accomplishment, especially for younger players.
Shot on the way, won't go. Everett reloads here, and we're going to have a tripping foul, so we're not done yet, but we've had 14 fouls called here in this third quarter. Maynard picks up the foul, her second personal foul, 7th team foul, 15 fouls.
Tom, I'm just hoping we don't have to bring in a sub for our statistician here.
Buddy Patrick's
if that hand cramp gets any worse.
Go out and buy some lead for the pencil. The refillable lead. Pentel 0.7. Oh, he prefers the 0.5. Shot on the way, and it is good.
It's not a good sign when we're talking pencil lead thickness in the third quarter, gentlemen.
Well, we're almost done with the third quarter. Frank Tolentino with that foul shot. 3 ball. I'll tell you what, she's not afraid to shoot.
Not at all.
Takia Jones. Shot up, no good. And Everett will have it. Final 8 seconds of the third quarter. Top of the key 3. No, won't go for Savannah Frank Tolentino. We'll head to the fourth quarter of Brugal Fest. It's 50-17 Everett, big over Cascade. Back with the fourth quarter after this.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Entertained by a battle of the dancing mascots in the center of the floor. I don't think we got videotape of that, so that might be a good thing.
Oh man, Tom, that'll be viral tonight, I'm sure. There's about 400 cell phone cameras up getting it, so I think we'll be able to find some footage.
Everett basketball. Little turnaround jumper, no good by Anna Erickson. Everett was ready to go down the other end of the floor. The official says, let's stay here.
The whole coaching staff for Everett, all of them were up yelling out the play. In other words, trying to let them know, no, our ball, our ball, our ball.
So inbound baseline for the Seagulls. A little bit of a hard pass. It'll come down, and it'll be Cascade. There's a 3. Down it goes. Shanitha Peak will put it in for the Bruins. 50-20 the score. And Savannah Frank Tolentino, by the way. Her name isn't Frank Tolentino. It's Savannah Frank Tolentino.
Nobody else thought it but me.
Here's a shot no good by Savannah Frank Tolentino. And back the other way we go. Cascade Bruin basketball down by 30, a minute into the fourth quarter of the Brugal Fest. Boys game between these same Bruins and Seagulls coming up to follow. And we'll have a foul called here for the on the Seagulls. Rhea Pence will pick up the foul. The 5'7" sophomore, her second personal foul. 9th team foul. Well, here comes your line change. I think we got three subs coming in for Jeannie Thompson. Yes, we do.
Bringing back in a few starters there. As much as anything, this will probably be their 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes if they're lucky of play time here before subbing those subs back in.
Front of the iron, no good. 20-50 the score remains. Seagulls, Farrah Parrish down low, rattle it home, and Erickson with the bucket. Well, the thing we noticed from just all the way as we've done state tournament games all the way to the final day in the Tacoma Dome, depth is what you need when you get towards the postseason.
Absolutely, Tom. And you talk about a lot of times coaching staffs, you kind of start to actually shorten up your rotation a little bit when you get into districts and playoffs. But without fail, especially with the state tournament being some people might play 4 games in 4 days. If not, you're playing 3 games in 3 days. Without fail, you're going to have a 9th, 10th, maybe even 11th player have to play some minutes, have to fill a void, maybe due to fouls, maybe due to an injury, something like that, is for some key moments where you're like, man, we really need somebody to step up and give a spark. And a lot of times, those players maybe a little bit further down that, kind of down the depth chart are able to bring that experience, or not the experience, the energy.
Right.
And it just be something that really strikes you. So like you said, depth is so incredible. And these are those games that, even though this game's kind of out of hand, 32-point differential, this is where you're going to build some of that depth. You're going to get these players into some moments, and sometimes meshing starters with some lower depth players, well, you kind of find out what you have sometimes, and it can actually lead to things further down the road.
Well, that's what we saw when last week doing one of the jamborees.
Sure.
And coaches just putting 5 in, taking 5 out.
Yep.
Putting 3 in, taking these 3 out, just to find some combination. Let's see, okay, she works with her and he works with him.
Absolutely.
And we don't need, sometimes you need the big one, all the big players playing at the same time.
Right,
okay,
absolutely.
who's going to handle the basketball?
And those things that sometimes in a jamboree, 10-minute games, generally speaking, most oftentimes, the people who keep track of jamborees are kind of those ones that probably keep track of the scoreboard in the exhibition games or the preseason games in the NFL. It doesn't really matter if you go 4-0 and 0-4.
Right.
It's really all about just trying to develop your depth chart and your combinations like you talked about. What happens when you put all 3 bigs in the game, as the guys like, can people guard us? Can we guard other people? And you just kind of toy with those things. When you're in practice, you're going against yourselves. You know what you're going to do. It's, all your players know who's on what team, this and that. So Jamboree kind of gives you the opportunity to, let's see what it looks like. That was awful. We'll never do that again. But, hey, it didn't cost us a thing in a Jamboree.
There's an outside shot by Peak. It's a 3-ball up and good. It's 52-23 with 5 minutes to play in the game. And that's the we talk about it on our prep show.
Yep.
Difference between football and basketball is the offense and the defense are always playing at the same time out here.
Absolutely.
At basketball floor.
Yeah, the same 5 players that play offense at one end are the exact same 5 players playing the defense at the other end with 3 seconds differential, 4 seconds differential maybe, as opposed to in football. Obviously, you have 11 defense and 11 offense, and you rotate in with that, but they're completely separated.
Right. And on basketball, if you give up 50, you better score 52.
Well, 51 will work, but 52 would probably be preferable. Absolutely. And there's a number of times when I was an assistant coach of the Snohomish Panthers girls program that we talk about what's kind of our magic number that we can give up defensively. And there's sometimes early in the season you're like, I don't know if we better hold them to 35 or 40 because I'm not as confident in our offense at that point.
Right.
As the season wears on and progresses and you start to clean things up, you're like, okay, that number can be a little higher now because we're scoring more points. But at the same time, as the season wears on, you're like, our defense is getting better. We want that number even lower. So it definitely is a timing thing. We talked about in our broadcast on KRKO on Tuesday that oftentimes after Christmas is when you start to say freshmen, you're no longer freshmen. Sophomores, you're no longer sophomores. Now you're kind of into that. You're further along in the season. We need you to start kind of playing with the poise and confidence that goes with a little bit more of an upperclassman.
Savannah Frank Tolentino with the 3-pointer. It's 55-23. We're now under 4 minutes to play in the game. Outside shot just not going for the Cascade Bruins. On the other end, they'll answer with a 3 that won't go for Emma Weir, but a reload here by Everett. Then she lost the handle in the corner, did Kayla Lay. jump ball, alternating possession. It'll go Cascade's way here. 3.5 to play. And now I think the Seagulls will start to put some more subs in. I think we're going to start talking about our player of the game. Who do you like there? Buddy Patrick.
Buddy Patrick, Todd Elvig, they're going to be weighing in on it for us as well.
Buddy's actually watching the game, unlike you and I, so he's trying to get stats. But who do we got for leading scorer?
Sylvester with 15 points and Farrah Parrish with 15 points. I'm not on, I don't think, by the way.
Oh, cool. Oh, you are on.
Hi guys. 15 for Parrish, 15 for Sylvester.
You know, I'll tell you what, I've liked that play of Farrah Parrish.
Yep.
She's really that straw that stirs the drink, both offensively and defensively, and understandably so. I mean, she's that point guard. She's the one at the top of the press. You expect her to get her hands on some more balls and whatnot, but she's had some beautiful finds for other teammates, some beautiful looks. It's not always the leading scorer that you're going to hear me pick as the one that really, I thought, impacted the game. But I think kind of her.
You're more the unsung hero kind of.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yes, we have. Here's a shot, no good. Yeah, I think Farrah Parrish would be our choice. Number 23, the 5'4" point guard, the junior.
That junior, with a number of sophomores on this roster too that are playing a lot of minutes. She seems to be kind of one that they look to kind of lead them as well, not just in the ball handling category, but not just the scoring category, but more than that.
As they move it around, here's a shot on the way, no good. The previous one went down for Savannah Frank Tolentino. This one won't. And now we have a foul on the other end. Today's game brought to you in part by McDaniel's Do It Center, by Speedway Chevrolet, by G&S Heating, by Adrenaline Fundraising, by Fred's Rivertown Ale House, and by Gamut. I know that. Gamut 360. Thanks to our sponsors. And if you like what you're seeing tonight here at STSPN.com, let your athletic directors know, or your coaches or the boosters, or just spread the word that you like watching the games here on STSPN.com, wherever you watch. Because we know we've got grandmas and grandpas in Bradenton, Florida, and the snowbirds down watching the games. We hear from them.
Absolutely. Those aunts, uncles, grandpas, grandmas. And you know what? There's even players, coaches from around the league. I mean, there was former players that maybe just graduated a year ago. They're going to be watching games like this when they're at college, wanting to see their teammates play from just the year before. Honestly, this is one of the more special things that we get to do.
Here we go. Full disclosure from the other night. We're doing the game at Snohomish. And tell us that you get a text.
I got a text, and I got a picture text that said, Boyer, move your head. We want to see the player of the game. Unfortunately, where our player of the game was seated had me in the direct camera angle. It was hard to see her. That was Maya Duchesne, former point guard who's now at Northwest College for the Snohomish Panthers, a player I was fortunate and blessed enough to get a coach for a few years. But she was definitely letting me know, move the old noggin, get it out of the way, so we can see that awesome player of the game.
Let's be honest, you have a big noggin.
It's got a lot of knowledge in it, Tom. It's got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if that's it.
Or air, I think is more like.
There's a lot of theories out there, Tom. A lot of theories.
It was a free throw, good for Takia Jones. She will get another. 55-25, a minute 38 to play.
But I will say, anytime you can watch a game live from your living room, it's not on ESPN or Fox Sports, you're watching a high school girls or boys basketball game, that's a pretty special thing. And we're pretty fortunate to have Todd Elvig and the STSPN crew here in Snohomish County really looking out for our high school athletics.
And also, let's not forget, go to a game.
Absolutely.
Get off your rear end and get out to this is great. This is a great atmosphere tonight. Now, they're going to ramp it up, I can tell, when the boys' game gets underway.
Oh, boy, they sure will. And, you know, we've talked about that. And the girls, and I coach girls basketball for 14, 15 years in this conference. they oftentimes aren't given the credit that maybe they're due, but I'll tell you what, I will always encourage, have that girls game first, because that crowd will start to rev up in the girls game and just be ready to bust the seams for a guys game, and that is exciting.
Riley Stark with the bucket there. Now Everett will try to answer here. Less than a minute to play. Would you like to see Cascade get to 30 points? It looks so much better in the scoreboard on westcoathletics.com if you scored 30. Like, okay, you lost by 25, but okay, you scored 30.
Absolutely.
See what they can do.
I'll tell you, just even getting to the 27 mark, Tom. There you go.
There you go, 29. Getting close.
I think Everett's going to take the air out of the ball here, Tom. As well they should.
Yeah, about a 1 second differential between the shot clock and game clock as we're winding it down. And we'll be talking with Farrah Parrish, our player of the game here. And again, in our second game, Jeannie Thompson, the head coach of the Everett Seagulls girls, will rip on our brother's team like her brother. No, he didn't rip on him. He was too busy watching his daughter play.
It's pretty hard when we're asking dad and brother to talk about his own program while he's trying to support and watch them.
Here comes Cascade one more time. 3, 2, 1 on the way. Good! Yes!
Count it.
Count the bucket at the horn, and the final score will be 55-32. I feel pretty good about myself right there. As Cascade, it's that helps.
Absolutely.
Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Isn't practice better on Monday?
Yes, 100%. And if you're watching film at all tomorrow, if they are, or they're talking about it on Monday during practice, that's just fantastic. And that's the kind of finish you want. It gives you a little bit of a gold, well, maybe not gold, but a little bit of some sort of lining on that cloud that, yes, we lost, but hey, we were able to come back from that. All right, just one thing for our viewers. Yes, we did alter that score. It was only a 2.
Okay.
55-31, but still, nonetheless, hitting that buzzer beater shot, that gives you a little bit of excitement for the team, for the program. Yes, tough loss for the Bruins, but what a great finish on that last shot.
We're going to take a break and come back and talk with our player of the game. Again, the final score, Everett Seagulls 55, Cascade Bruins 31. Back with our player of the game from Cascade High School right after this timeout.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And we welcome you back to Brew Gulf Fest 2019, Reg Scadeller Gymnasium. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer. Final score of the Everett Seagulls 55 and the Cascade Bruins 31. And our player of the game is Farrah Parrish. Did you have fun out there tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a lot.
So tell us about the game. You guys kind of got a big lead and then just kind of coasted along the rest of the way. Is that how it works?
Well.
Or you have to work hard the whole time?
Yeah, we got to work hard the whole time, yeah. We kept our energy up. Like, we have we got to start strong in our first few minutes to start off the whole game. And so we got to keep that energy the same way. even on the bench too, we got to keep cheering our teams up. So yeah.
So talk about this. You played last year as a starter, played a lot for him. Now your sister's playing with you. How's that?
Oh, I love it. Our little sister duo. It's just like sister love too.
Sure.
Like we butt heads at each other, but we're still like on the same team. But then not. I don't know. But like
You guys play AAU at all together, or are you guys opposite, different teams still there?
Well, not on the same teams, but like we try to keep on the same organization. But she like comes up and practices with me like all the time, and so that's where she gets her hard my hard work is like brushed off to her, and so she's wanting to become better too.
So which is harder, games or practice?
Probably practice.
Are you more tired after practice than after a game?
Yeah.
So you guys work pretty hard.
Yeah. Unless I get beaten out there or so. I don't know. Depends sometimes.
So tell us how you think the year is going to go.
I think it's going to go pretty good. Our first 2 games went off really good. I'm actually really happy about how we've been going and how we've been mentally going into the games. I think we've been doing pretty good about that.
Well, there you go. Well, congratulations, Farrah Parrish. We're going to give you a shirt. We're going to get a picture, and you're going to be our player of the game.
Okay.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Buddy Patrick for a quick look at the scoring in this one. Yeah.
Quick look at the stats for the Cascade Bruins. Shot 10 for 41 from the field, 3 for 16 from the three-point range, 8 for 16 from the line. Individually, leading scorer for Cascade was Cynthia Pitch with 11 points, 10 points for Peyton Cruz, and 22 turnovers for the Cascade Bruins. For the Everett Seagulls, shooting 22 for 57 from the field, 5 for 14 from three-point range. Leading all scorers tied, Ella Sylvester with 15 points and Farrah Parrish, our player of the game, with 15 points as well. 20 turnovers for the Everett Seagulls, Tom.
Thank you very much, and that is it. We will come back with the second game of the doubleheader, Brew Golf Fest, the Seagulls and the Cascade Bruins getting set for Game 2 on the boys' side, and we will come back with that in just a short time. Again, the final score on the girls' end, the Everett Seagulls 55, the Cascade Bruins 31. For Joel Boyer, I'm Tom Lafferty. Good night from Cascade High School.